had the one against Carolina, and we got to talk about this Baker Mayfield situation. But we had the one against Carolina. We won last week. Who did we play last week? Who did we beat last week? We beat the Buccaneers last week, and we have a victory Monday today because yesterday we played the Houston Texans, and we welcomed Deshaun. We welcomed Deshaun Watson back as QB number 1 for the Cleveland Browns, and we got to go ahead and get into his performance. And Brandy, we are going to start with you first. What did you think of what was out on the field yesterday?
So, I did expect Deshaun to come in a little rusty, especially, it being 700 days since his last, actual game, being almost 2 years. I, knew coming in that we wouldn't see the top player of, that we saw in 2020 of how he played when he was with Houston. I knew, there would definitely be rust to come off, but I think he did play decent. But I think, looking forward with the schedule coming up, playing the Bengals and Ravens next, I'm really looking forward to seeing how he plays against them.
Eddie, take at it, man.
Brandy, I love you because you're so nice.
She is pretty sweet.
Russ was going to be there, though.
You're beyond nice. Deshaun Watson looked like crap. He played like crap. He looked like crap. Hey, you can tell he ain't played over 700 plus days. Russ is the understatement. He was beyond Russ. He was corroded. It was bad. It was horrible. And it's a good thing we played the Texans because if we played anybody else,
thank you, Jesus,
it would have been ugly and very ugly. So I appreciate us playing the Texans. But like one thing I can say is week 13 for everybody else. It's only week 1 for him. So I didn't expect him to look great. I didn't expect him to look like 2020 Deshaun Watson, but I didn't expect him to look this bad. He looked really bad. He was 54.1 quarterback rating.
Yeah, he went 12 for 22 for 131 yards with the 1 interception, and he had about 20 ground balls.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if we was playing soccer or some type of Atari game. I'm dating myself. What is the newest game system out?
PS5.
Yeah, PS5 or something like that. Some type of kicking game where he aimed for the feet.
FIFA.
Yeah,
FIFA
World Cup.
World Cup 23.
The World Cup is going on right now. And that's kind of what Deshaun Watson looked like yesterday.
Part of that yesterday because he looked like he was just kicking. He was just kicking the ball. It was.
The rust was so bad, like I said, he needed a tetanus shot because it was so bad. I guess I had a little bit higher expectations for how he was going to come out. You saw the balls that he was throwing in practice. Receivers weren't, he was on target in practice.
Yeah.
Receivers were, Anthony Schwartz struggled to catch the ball, of course. Hayden Grove of Cleveland.com posted a clip in which he threw a ball to Anthony Schwartz, and Anthony Schwartz missed it and kind of screamed afterwards, and it was the funniest thing. So, he was throwing these darts, but, obviously this is just in practice. This is somebody feeding him the ball. This isn't in a regular game. He's not taking a snap, under center. So, it was completely different expectations. So I guess I was just expecting a little bit more out of him, being that he's such a good quarterback. I was expecting him to be a little bit better than he was yesterday. I was expecting him to be able to move the ball offensively, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm be honest with y'all, I ain't even about to front, and I know y'all probably about to get on me, but I was like, put Jacoby Brissett.
I ain't mad at you. Listen, I said the same thing. I did not get mad at that. I said, put Jacoby back in. I know what we asked for, but maybe next year. But right now, it looks horrible. And the crazy part about it, and Brandon, we're going to let you speak. I know, but the crazy part about it is, as you say, he looked dope in practice. So I know practice speed and game.
You talking about practice?
Man, he needed. He ain't Iverson because he didn't come out. He came out flat.
Yeah.
He flatlined. We like resuscitating, please. It was bad.
Did those thoughts pass through your mind, Brandy, about possibly putting Jacoby in for a hot second?
I was actually at a watch party yesterday, and people
really?
about that, but I wasn't there yet. I wanted to see what Deshaun could do.
Because I'm just a little bit scared for next week when we take on the Cincinnati Bengals. But I know that there has to be some improvement because if you remember, Jacoby Brissett started out the season, with a ton of low passes and things like that, and he finally got him up to receiver. So I don't know about y'all, but I expect a quick turnaround for the next game because this Cincinnati, we've had Cincinnati's number, but obviously, working with a quarterback now who is brand new to the game, like a newborn baby trying to get his sea legs under him. It could be a different result because we've kind of owned the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow has not beat us. What is he, 0-3 against us? 0-4, something like that. So he hasn't beat us yet. So he's waiting for his first opportunity to beat us. And this Sunday, if Deshaun kind of plays like he played on yesterday, it's going to be a perfect opportunity for them to beat us.
Yeah, thank goodness for our special teams and our defense stepping up yesterday.
Yeah.
Our offense looked like crap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact he actually ran the ball, which was probably the best thing he could have done because the way Deshaun was playing, you couldn't do nothing else. My thing is, yes, I wanted Jacoby back in. I would be the one who will admit that I did say it. Like, put him in. Like, I'm like, put him in because it was looking bad for us. So let him play. But at the same time, I gotta be optimistic. Like he's gonna change. He's gonna turn around. I gotta feel like he's going to turn around. He can't be this bad for the rest of the season. I gotta go under the feet for the rest of the season. I think our biggest task is going to be these next two games, which is the Ravens and Cincinnati. So I feel those will be our next toughest task. But now Lamar Jackson probably won't be playing against us. We're gonna have Huntley because he messed his knee up.
But Huntley almost just as good as our own.
How he looked like yesterday, boy. Huntley looked real
bad.
He
looked bad. Who did they play yesterday?
The Bengals played. Ravens played.
Ravens played the Broncos.
Oh, okay, who won?
The Ravens 10-9.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
a baseball
score. It was
score,
a horrible game. Actually, it was probably the boringest game I've ever seen in football. It was
really.
It was like 1960 football. It was boring, very boring.
Yeah.
Like it was no offense. It wasn't like the defense played like really good. It was just bad offense. Both teams had played horrible offense.
Because I think it was last year. Was it last year when the Bengals came into town and Lamar got hurt and they carted him off?
Yeah,
and then Tyrone Huntley came in and I was just like, Lamar hurt? He looked like Lamar to me.
That was
and they still beat us.
Yeah. But see, the great part about they were losing against them.
Yeah.
He came in like the last drive.
Yeah.
Lamar came back the last drive and beat us.
Yeah.
So, I think we could beat Huntley, but Huntley ain't a bad quarterback. Like, he's not a bad quarterback.
He's Lamar light.
Yeah, he's Lamar light. Yeah. He's an athletic quarterback. He's not no. I think he actually got a better deep ball than Lamar, but that's just my opinion. So
really,
oh yeah, he got a nice deep ball. I mean, Lamar is just a freak of nature. Let's be honest.
Yeah, so let's talk about this defense, man. The defense came and showed up and showed out. Did they have such a good game defensively? Because going into this game, they only had 3 interceptions all season long. Mm-hmm. So that's a long time to not really do anything or to go without, in games and be a defensive unit and not have any interceptions. And yesterday, I think they had 2 interceptions. Yes. So they had 2 interceptions and a fumble, that was able to go in the end zone for. Yeah,
They all went for touchdowns.
Yeah, they all went for touchdowns. So defense did all the scoring for us to enable to win this game. I think we had K York had 2 field goals. I think. Correct. So
we got one. Our special team showed up yesterday. Special team and defense showed up.
Yeah,
we're pumping brakes. We're talking about the Browns defense against the Texans.
No, Brandy, what did you think about the defense?
Yeah, this is something I think we've been saying pretty much all year so far. How they needed definitely, more turnovers on defense. So they did look good. They did do that. We've also talked, about special teams. DPJ had a nice return, to go all the way, which was good to see. But like you guys have kind of mentioned, Houston has only won 1 game. So, they also have to do this against, the better teams in the league right now as well.
Yeah, I think that, the Houston Texans gave this defense a lot of opportunities to be able to do something and make their mark. And it was just like, Houston was kind of gashing them a little bit when it came to passes. I think Kyle Allen, he was able to get some passes off, Kyle Allen.
Who? Exactly.
Yeah, but Kyle Allen was able to make some connections with some receivers against the Browns defense.
That's my point. Like,
so
you ask anybody who was outside of people who just saw him yesterday, who is this guy? They was like, I don't know that.
Right, yeah.
He's a no offense, he's in the NFL, so I respect him, but he's a nobody.
Yeah.
And this is against a real quarterback with those receivers. They didn't even have a star receiver. Brandon Cooks was out, and he was still slashing us. And I ain't gonna lie, man, that rookie running back they got.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't on the Texans. Oh man, he's going to be a monster. He's powerful. Mm-hmm. He is powerful and he's fast. Mm-hmm. And he ran over our one of our safeties so bad. I felt so bad. I felt so bad for John Johnson. I'm like, oh.
John Johnson got ran over.
He got ran over so bad. I mean, it was disrespectful. Like, he was a disrespectful run over. Like, and he looked at him too, like, little dude. Like, yeah, brother, but again, I appreciate him coming back to a preseason game because that's all that was, a preseason game in the Texans.
Yeah, and we lost Taki, so Taki is done for the year with the ACL tear. So about a year-long recovery. So we'll see him, around this time next year. So that was very unfortunate because he was one of our decent linebackers or one who played very hard.
He stepped up big time this year compared to normal.
Especially after losing Anthony Walker and Jacob Phillips already this year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You were absolutely right, Brandy. That's a big loss for our linebacker core this year has been decimated, man.
With injuries.
But Taki has stepped up a lot this year compared to last year. I mean, he's been in almost every tackle. If I'm mistaken, I think he's leading our team in tackles right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if I'm mistaken, I have to look that up. But I think he lead our team in tackles. But he had played great coverage defense this year, and for him to go down, that's gonna hit us hard because who's gonna step up in his place because we don't have that many linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said. We're missing two of our well, now 3 of our starting linebackers now.
Because was Taki wearing a green dot? Do you know, Brandy? I know you usually know who got the green dot.
We switched to John Johnson to the green dot after Jacob Phillips went out.
Okay. Yeah, that's good that Taki, wasn't wearing a green dot because that'd be another huge blow. But I feel bad for him. I wish him the best because he was playing hard. Yeah. But my peeps, we got to go ahead and take our first break. So we are at that point. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Season is here. It's the time of connect with our family and friends, but for many it's easy to feel isolated. Stay connected to your loved ones by calling 216-307-6990. A digital navigator is standing by to help you find affordable internet plans and devices, as well as free training and support. Reconnect today with the help of the digital navigators. Call 216-307-6990. This message is brought to you by the Digital Navigators and WOVU 95.9 FM. Our voices united. Burton Bell Carr Community Radio.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports. Keep in mind you're listening to 95.9, FM radio, so you can always keep it locked on your regular radio dial. You can download the WOVU app to listen to us on the go. You can also listen to us online at WOVU.org. And then also you can always call a station at 216 271-0959. So I am back with Brandy Fairfax and the front man, Eddie Scott. And we were just talking a little bit about the defense, how wonderful the defense looked good. So does John Wood, is it John Woods? I'm
Joe
Drew
Woods.
Blake. John Woods?
Joe
Woods, excuse me. So does Joe Woods keep his job after this performance from the defense yesterday? Absolutely. Y'all better leave him alone.
Absolutely. Listen, fans. Do not let this game fool y'all. This game was against the Texans, who is last in almost every category in the league. Do not allow this game to fool y'all to think Joe Woods is actually a good coach.
They like some world beaters yesterday.
Ohio State could have beat this team. I would have put Purdue against this team and be like, oh, they got
Purdue.
They got a good shot of beating to Texas.
Oh my
God, that's how bad the Texans are.
Yeah, that's kind of bad.
Like they're a horrible team. Like, let's be honest. They got 1 win, 10 losses, and 1 tie. People thought they were going to go 0-17 this year. That's how bad they are. No, we're not about to fake the funk. Joe Woods is a horrible coach who just got lucky that he got a good break against the Texans.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, they look like some world beaters yesterday.
I'll give you that.
And Brandy, what about you? Enough to save Joe Woods' job this week?
I agree. I don't think it saves his job, but I guess see how they play against the Ravens and the Bengals. They did say that the Browns scored the most points, which was 27 by a team without an offensive touchdown since 1999. But
oh, really?
They play against the other teams. Yep.
Again, in the league or just for the Browns?
By any team.
Okay. See, they got out there and did their thing. So Deshaun Watson had the lowest QBR rating of 53.4. How does he turn this around? Is it just, getting more reps, getting more game time action? Do we expect him to be able to completely turn this around against Cincinnati, or do we expect him to just take a leap but not, have these issues corrected?
So I this is tough. I think now that he got game speed under his belt again, I think there's a good chance that he takes a giant step. Not a leap though. Just over 2 years of not playing football. It's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time. It's hard to just throw that rust off and become like your old self.
Do y'all remember how long it took Michael Vick? How many games it took Michael Vick after he came back from jail to get back into the swing of things? Did it seem like it was kind of immediate?
Michael Vick different. Let's be honest. That dude was a different dude, man. I don't think it took Michael Vick that long, but if I'm mistaken, his first game back, he looked bad. He was forcing. I remember his first game back, he was forcing a lot of plays. He was trying to force a lot of plays. But he got, like I said, he got in the swing of things really, really quick as far as like, I'm going to let my legs do a job like I normally do. And what's open is open. But he went back to his roots, which was run first guy to open up for the pass. But Deshaun Watson is he can scramble. He's a great scrambler. He has great legs, but he always was a pass first quarterback. So we'll see. I don't know.
Brandy, do you remember when Michael Vick came back?
I do, but I'm not sure how long it took him, to be back 100%.
Yeah, I can't remember either. But when he came back, did he come back with Philly when he came back?
Yeah, and got his start with Philly.
Yeah, and Philly was like contending, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, but he went to
start though. He came off the bench. I want to say it was Donovan McNabb, the quarterback who went down.
Okay.
And Donovan McNabb was on his last leg. He went down and Vic came in to take over and played the rest of the season. They wound up going to the playoffs that year, if I'm mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
He looked pretty bad at first. Like he was, like I said, his first game he was really rusty. He wasn't Deshaun Watson rusty. That's a different chemical right there. But like I said, he wasn't throwing balls in the ground. You know what I'm saying? But when he realized, like, I guess maybe Andy Reid talked to him like, "Yo, play your football, play the way you play," and it changed. You know what I'm saying? But Deshaun Watson, man, I don't even know how. I couldn't even grade him yesterday. It was so bad. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it had to be probably the worst comeback ever
Mm-hmm.
to a stadium. Like that was horrible the way you looked. Like, was you like nervous because you had those people there? Like, what was it that made you play that bad?
Well, they said there was a lot of Browns fans
Oh, it
because I
was,
know some people. I know two people. Well, I knew a group of people who went to Houston,
listen,
who went to watch the game, and then on Facebook I was seeing the pictures pop up
correct.
of other people who was in Houston as well. So they said that it was a
It
lot of
was,
brown and orange in that stadium.
yeah, but it was a lot of Browns fans. It was some people that was just beyond disrespectful. I ain't gonna lie, like who was Browns fans. And I'm always here for the disrespect. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I am
Mm-hmm.
fat. I am so petty. So it was some. It was some. It was a guy. It was two guys there who said, uh, after the church said after them chicks, I need a massage too. And I said, well, that is horrible. But it was a lot of Browns fans there. I mean, it was maybe 50-50 because after the game, like I'm on Facebook. Like I said, I got a couple of friends there, and I mean, like Houston, like of course the Houston fans left, and it's still a boatload of fans, which is Browns fans.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, he came in to booze. It's funny because John Watson came in to booze, and he left with cheers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I mean, it was loud cheers, like people screaming his name and all that stuff. I think, but even though it was fans there, a lot of fans there for the Browns and repping the Browns and cheering for him. At the same time, he still, I think it was his nerves that got to him. Because coming back to this city that you started your career in, that you still have a home in, your family still lives in Houston, so you still have a lot of roots in Houston. You still do charitable work in Houston, so you're still rooted in there. To come back and to wet the bed that way you did, that's horrible.
Well, I think, something like that was to be expected to probably have a poor performance. I don't think I expected him to come out and just, look like the Deshaun Watson of old. I did expect a little bit better. So I think, that performance that he gave, it has to and it will get better. But, he even mentioned that this was different, coming and going to the visitor locker room. I wasn't used to that, being a visitor. So, I think, though, once the game started, maybe he was able to block all that out and just, focus on playing football. It just was very bad football. But I think once the game started, he just kind of went from there.
I don't know. I don't know if he was able to block it out because the way he played, it don't look like he blocked it out. I think he was letting it get to him some way, somehow. Because you can say you blocking out, and I play football, and we don't always pay attention to the crowd. Like sometimes you can't really even hear the crowd. Like I don't care how loud it is, you're so focused that you don't really pay attention to them, which is true. But in certain situations, like when I was in high school playing against Glenville, we heard Glenville's crowd. You know what I'm saying? You heard that crowd because you're 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 attentive of that because that's your rival. And for me to think that he didn't pay attention to somewhat to that crowd in Houston, knowing that you're new to this, this is not a new atmosphere, but a new atmosphere for you. Because normally this is your home crowd.
Yeah, you're the enemy coming in because you're away team.
So now you're the enemy. You're paying attention. You're paying somewhat attention to it. You're still human. You can't block everything out. You know what I'm saying? You're still human.
Brandy, what do you think? You think he was able to block that out and just focus on playing once the whistle blew, and he's in the pocket, you think he was able to block that stuff out?
I'm sure he tried his best, but yeah, I'm sure, he was under somewhat of pressure. It was a big game. It was his first game back in, 700 days on top of being, back in the stadium where he used to play.
How many times was he sacked? Once or twice?
They had two. I remember the one. I think it was just once.
Okay, yeah, because he got out of a would-be sack.
Correct.
So that was kind of dazzling. He was able to use his legs, and that's something that we weren't used to with Jacoby. With Jacoby, it was kind of like a lucky run.
Correct.
The pocket broke down, but you don't have somebody who was able to move like that when the pocket break down and has the escapability. So that was something that Jacoby didn't have. It was like the pocket broke down and he just ran. But you see Deshaun Watson actually put some footwork on display.
And the sack that he took was his fault. Like it was totally his fault. Like because he had an open lane to run through, and he did like this like turning around trying to make something happen instead of just taking off. He tried to like still pass it downfield. But if he just took off like I was expecting him to, he wouldn't have took that sack. He probably would have got a good 20 yards if he would just took off.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're looking at that play that he took a sack on, the left side of the field was like clear. Like it was wide open. Like, with his speed, the person that would have to come down to break down to him would have probably been the safety coming from across the field to make that tackle. And he would have probably got 20 plus yards, you know what I'm saying? And the same thing happened. And again, this time he took off. And that time that's when he smacked the ground because he like, if I made one move, I would have scored. But yeah, I think with the one sack, which is good, I'm still kind of, if I had to break on our line, I'm still kind of like iffy on our center because he's I think he's our fourth center. And then
Yota Freeho?
Yeah, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I won't even butcher it. And then Wills is
he got to go.
He got to go. I'm sorry. We gave him this is third, fourth year now.
Third year, I believe.
And he haven't grown to me. He's still in the same. He's in the same boat he was when first as a rookie. And we try to blame him because he got hurt. So that's what I'm saying. But he's not.
Because last year was a rough year for him.
Correct. And then this year
he battled through injury.
And this year is pretty much the same. You're not battling injury. You're just
getting blown off your block.
Yeah. And so I think we need to go definitely look for a left tackle.
Yeah. What do you think, Brandy? Left tackle next year?
Yeah. So, you looked at the beginning of the season, the offensive line was probably the best unit on the team at that point, but they have had a lot of injuries, so they've definitely taken a step back. But yeah, Wills, we haven't had much production of him of what they thought when he was supposed to come here.
Because it was Jedrick Wills and Anthony Schwartz in the same draft class.
Yep.
So Anthony Schwartz got to go too. And I think the reason why this regime hasn't cut these players because they drafted them. So they wanted to give them a couple years and give them a shot because basically when you draft a player, you don't know what you have until about 3 or 4 years later down the line. And we're at year 3 with both of them, and we see that we're not getting anything. But the thing is, do they have the opportunity to grow and mature into their roles and be better at their jobs? Are we cutting them loose too soon, or is it worth giving them one more year? Because isn't rookie deals normally 4 years?
5 years.
Okay.
4-year base with a 5-year option. With Wills, I say I wouldn't cut him. I wouldn't get rid of him, but he'll be definitely on the bench with somebody else starting because you definitely need like experienced linemen. Like he come in, okay, this person go down. I can bring Cedric Wills in. I'm fine with that. Schwartz, on the other hand, ain't no way you taking up a roster spot anymore.
He actually caught the ball though.
And fumbled.
He caught.
The one time you catch the ball, you fumble. You just can't win with this guy. Like you can't win with him.
And they always say he works so hard. Like, and I feel bad for him because maybe he does work so hard.
So in high school and college, we used to say we need to call them practice superstars.
Okay.
Where in practice, these guys are superstars. I mean, these guys are good. And then you get to the game, you're like, where's that guy that was at practice? That's to me is Anthony Schwartz. They say he practiced very well. He worked really hard. He's all this, and then he just it's like that half of them stay in the locker room when they come out, for the real game,
Uh-huh.
and he never show up. It's like he oversleep. They forgot to wake him up.
Yeah.
Like on the movie Drumline when he was like, I'm going back old school right now. When Nick Cannon forgot to wake up his boy for the band, and he was like, where your boy at? He was like, oh, I ain't his mama.
Oh.
That's how it is with Anthony Shorts. It's like, why y'all ain't wake him up?
Yeah.
Wake that practice dude up and tell him to come to the game because he ain't never showing up.
He had a highlight last week though.
Oh, on the reverse.
Yeah. He held on to the ball.
I mean, he didn't get touched. Let's be honest here. Like, I appreciate the score, but you didn't get touched. You went 30 yards. I mean, you're fast. You should never get touched.
Yeah, I remember when they ran that reverse with Odell against Dallas.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, man. Like, this is, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm being a little too hard on Anthony Short.
No. You're being absolutely right.
I don't think so. So they both signed 4-year deals. Wills was drafted in 2020, and then Schwartz was the year after in 21. But I think,
Okay.
they definitely have had time now to, see a growth in them, and we haven't seen much at all. But Anthony Schwartz is back in concussion protocol now.
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing to happen.
Shut up,
we ain't got to worry about it. You know it's bad.
He gonna be in concussion protocol the
rest of the year. They don't even take him off of it. He gonna be cleared to play. They gonna be like, yeah, we still have to.
He gonna be cleared to play in July.
Listen, that's bad. It's horrible, man. They're not playing with him. Like,
oh man, we gotta take a break. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
That part, he probably got a concussion.
You know what?
We gonna tell him he got a concussion. They ain't saying what you got no more. It's bad, man.
Everything costs more now, and holiday trips and gifts can add up quickly. Even trying to stay connected virtually is just another costly bill each month. But it doesn't have to be that way anymore. Your digital
into a group of Texas.
Texas, nobody else. We didn't have not one person around. It's all Texas around there.
You know what it looked like? Remember that year that they got into that big fight of Michigan against Ohio State, and they when they got kicked out the game, when they surrounded him after he ran the ball, and I was like, Michigan should have got in trouble for that, but they didn't because they initially started it, surrounding him like that. So that's what that reminded me of, a crowd full of doggone Texans.
Community Radio.
We're gonna bring up we're gonna talk about the
welcome back to Her
NBA right quick,
okay,
and then we can do OSU last. All right, welcome back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports. I got my girl, Brandy Fairfax, with me, and the front man, Eddie Scott from On the Mat, our Thursday show. And we got to talk about little Cleveland Cavaliers. You said that they disappointed you, Eddie. Yeah, they had a bad night on the road. They should not have lost the game to the New York Knicks. Right now, they are 5-8 in road games, and they have only one loss at home. So they are still holding that third spot in the Eastern Conference, I believe. But in order for this team to really contend, they have to be winning games on the road, especially against bad teams that you're supposed to win against.
They lost against who?
They lost to the New York Knicks. Yes.
Exactly. That's horrible. Hey, man, let me say. Everybody know me. I tell you, relax. I always tell y'all this every time they lose. Relax, is okay. But you can't relax when you lose against the Knickerbockers. Like it's horrible. You don't lose against the Knicks. That team is trash.
Yeah, they're 10th and they are 10th in the Eastern Conference, sitting at 11-13 with a .458 winning percentage.
Yeah, it makes you want to hit the panic button because you're great at home. You're great at home, but when you get to the road, it's like you forget what will have y'all win, and you can't. Yes, playing at home with that home energy is totally different. But you can't lose games you're supposed to win. And yes, it's a long season, so I'm not panicking yet. But if there's implications of what y'all look like in the playoffs, we're not going to make it. we're gonna go home quick because you have to win games on the road in the playoffs.
Yeah, because one of the things is that they were kind of saying last night that this was kind of a throwaway game, and I don't believe in any throwaway games. And they didn't lead, I don't think, at any point in that game from the beginning to the end. So wire to wire, this was a New York Knicks victory. I was about to say Ohio State. The Cleveland Cavaliers came out. They didn't look like there was any sense of urgency. Yeah, it didn't look like they really cared about this game at all. You know, they made a run and they got within 3 points, but unfortunately, the New York Knicks was able to, you know, extend that with the 3-pointer and just kind of go from there. And the Cavs were playing from behind. So I'm expecting more out of them if this team really is going to contain, because you're going to have to learn how to win on the road and be able to win on the road and close out games when you get a lead. And that's one of the things is you're sacrificing these leads. They're letting teams go on runs and, you know, finish off these games instead. So it should be the Cleveland Cavaliers. And that was some of the struggles that they had on the road trip. And they're about to go on another road trip, I believe, in January. So they have to be ready for that. And that's one of the things, because, you know, not every team in the Western Conference is bad. So you're going to have to learn how to close games out if you want to contend. It's just as simple as that.
I don't like the term throwaway games because there's no such thing. And to me, okay, but my thing when it comes to those quote unquote throwaway games, that shows me you don't have a killer instinct. You know what I'm saying? That's something Michael Jordan wasn't gonna have. Well, Michael Jordan ain't had no throwaway game. The Bulls, he wouldn't let the Bulls have a throwaway game. Kobe ain't let the Lakers have a throwaway game. It was if you're beneath us, we're gonna blow you out by 50. You know what I'm saying? That's the mentality that any team that's that good is supposed to have. Like, I'm better than you, and I'm gonna show you that I'm better than you.
And on the road, people coming to see you play.
Correct. I'm about to blow you out, and we're gonna call it a day. And if I'm gonna throw it away, I'm gonna let y'all stay alive, and I'm gonna just beat y'all by 20 instead of 50. That's what you call a throwaway. You don't let a team dominate you from beginning to the end and say it was just a throwaway game. No, you got to handle, bro.
And you know what? I stand corrected because they go on a Western Conference road trip next week. So they have the Lakers tomorrow. So LeBron James is in town tomorrow. That is a national game, TNT. I'm wondering if Chris Haynes going to be here or whatever. You might go to that game tomorrow. You better check and make sure it ain't sold out.
Tickets left. I might go.
Yeah, so you got the Lakers coming in town tomorrow. Then you have a rematch with the Sacramento Kings, who you should have beat. You know, but Mike Brown had them playing for a little bit, and that victory against the Cavs actually started it off. So you should be beating the Kings. You have the Thunder coming to town on Saturday. So you have the Thunder coming to town. No, sorry. So yeah, I said that they're home this week. So you got the Kings, then you have the Thunder on Saturday. Then they go on the road trip. So Monday, December 12th, they go to the Spurs. They go to the Mavericks on the Wednesday. That Friday, they're back against the Pacers. And then on the Saturday, the 17th, Luka Doncic is in town. And that's going to be a crazy day because the Browns play that day at 4:30. So that's going to be a little bit of a crazy day.
Just don't go downtown that day. I just tell you that.
Yeah.
Because if I was thinking that's a home game for the Browns.
Yes, that's a home
game for the Cavs.
Yeah.
Stay away from downtown. First of all, the park downtown on that day is gonna cost you $100.
Yeah.
So stay away from downtown that day. Figure out something else. It's gonna be hectic down there.
It's gonna be mad crazy. So those are some. So they got a little bit of a trip coming up next week, and then in January they have another West Coast trip as well. So they doing the West Coast trip. So Brandy, what are your thoughts about these Cavs not being able to finish games and whatnot?
Yeah, it's been tough. They definitely haven't adjusted, but a lot of these games that they have lost were games that they should have won. But I guess the good thing is, they haven't lost by too many points in those games. So I think a lot of these things are easy adjustments, and the injuries have hurt us this year. Right now, Jared Allen being hurt, and then they just said Dean Wade with that shoulder sprain, he could miss a month. So that hurts. And then earlier in the season, having Darius out. And, I think a lot of the team is still meshing together with having Donovan coming in.
Yeah, and Dylan Windler, I don't think he's ever going to play ever again because right now he's out another 3 to 6 weeks. So that was just sent by the Cavs very recently. I think he played in maybe one game this season. So I don't even know what he looks like at this point.
I don't remember him playing in one game.
Yeah,
I'm like, he's been injured since we got him. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately,
Fragile from what was that? Not Christmas Story, but Elijah Price and Unbreakable. That movie with Bruce Willis and
Unbreakable.
Yeah, and where you touched him, he was made of glass.
Yeah, Unbreakable.
Yeah, so I'm not expecting too much out of him. But, at the end of the day, the Cavs just have to pull out a victory. They should be able to beat the Lakers tomorrow, no problem. I'm anticipating, and you better look now because I'm anticipating those tickets are going to be sold out. LeBron going to be in town, and it's going to be a huge contingent, people in 20 number 6 jerseys for the Lakers and stuff like that. So, that should be exciting. And, I think the Cavs maybe have 9 national games this year. So that's one of the national games that you got coming on. LeBron James against his old team, because the game in LA was not a national game.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder, maybe because he's coming here is why it's a national game, possibly.
Hey, if you're a Cleveland fan and you wearing a LeBron jersey tomorrow, you're not a fan. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a lot of them.
I love LeBron James. Everybody who know me, hear me on the radio, hear that LeBron James is my dog, but I would never wear a jersey unless it's a Cleveland jersey of his. I'm not wearing no Lakers jersey. And they got them on sale right now. Oh, that's too high up though. Yeah, so you cannot wear a LeBron jersey.
Yeah. Would you wear one to the game? Like, would you wear a Cleveland jersey to the game?
I wear a Cleveland LeBron jersey to the game. Absolutely. Heartbeat.
You don't feel like that's testing your allegiance?
No, my allegiance is with the Cavaliers. He just played for him, and I'm still getting his jersey because he is the king. Let's be honest. Like, he is LeBron James, who brought us a championship. The first one in years. So, yes, I can wear his jersey that says Cleveland Cavaliers on there. I can't wear his jersey that says the Los Angeles Lakers, even though that blue jersey is dope. But I can't wear that blue jersey that says Los Angeles Lakers on there.
Yeah, I don't want LeBron coming in here putting on a show though, and the Lakers actually being able to do something.
Play. LeBron, he might be hurt that game.
No, what you talking about? LeBron don't be hurt like that.
Him and AD are probable for tomorrow.
Oh, he probable for tomorrow?
LeBron always hurt.
What's wrong with him?
Nothing. He don't want to play. Listen, old age catching up to him.
No, it's not. It's just the Lakers. Sorry.
No, LeBron, exactly. He don't want to play for him.
He's tired of being on the sorry team.
And he signed this contract thinking that they were going to be better and make different moves, and now he can't get out of it because ain't nobody trying to pick up that contract.
That's on him, man. Once again, making a terrible decision.
Man, listen.
They said he has left ankle soreness.
I told you. He might not even play. LeBron is he be faking the fuck, man. He be faking injuries like he be faking them fouls.
And fortunately, he's never had a major injury in his career, but he's still playing at a high level, even his age. But I think his team's so bad, he just don't even want to go out there, and that's bad, man.
I ain't mad at you, LeBron. I told you should came back to Cleveland. We need a number 3.
Yeah, man.
A good 3.
He had the perfect opportunity to come back too,
yeah.
And we had Donovan Mitchell, didn't we?
No, we didn't have Mitchell yet. We would have got him this year though. I don't think we had that money for him and Caleb. We could make that happen. I would take LeBron right now.
Yeah, but when LeBron signed that free agency deal this summer, was Donovan Mitchell?
I don't think we signed Donovan just yet. I think we signed him a few weeks later, but I don't think we had him when LeBron initially signed the free agent contract.
Though. Okay.
My mistake. I could be wrong, y'all. Don't get me wrong. Don't give me the line. I could be wrong. But I'm almost 100% sure I'm not wrong in this case.
Yeah, because I'm like, look at the team that he has and how bad they are, and the youth and the talent here and how good they could be. And you passed on this for that. Now you don't even want to play.
Now, one thing I wouldn't have done if he did come here, with something that they always do, is they blow up the team.
Right.
Nope. LeBron wouldn't be here if they're gonna blow up the team. If they could get LeBron back today without blowing up the team, I'll take it.
But where would LeBron go after the Cavaliers?
Nowhere else. It's his final resting place.
Exactly.
I mean, I think he's gonna retire as a Cavs.
Yeah, he's gonna retire as a Cavs. He signed a 1-day contract.
Do we really want him to retire as a Cavs though?
Yeah, I do.
Other than the fact that he won as a championship, is he really a Cavalier?
Yeah, he's a Cavalier.
Okay, then let's retire him as a Cav. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, he's a Cavalier. Even though he,
Brandon, I'm fine
even
with that,
though he
Brandon.
left us, Cleveland is in his heart. But and he chasing titles and rings, and
Now he chasing titles.
not anymore.
Now he just chasing stats.
Yeah, not anymore.
He done chasing titles,
Chasing a scoring
stats.
title now,
Yeah.
but I mean, this is home for him, and he helped us win our first title ever, pretty much. Are we still counting the 1964 championship?
Browns?
Old people are, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta count it because it's a championship, even though it was before they started playing the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
you definitely gotta count it. I think if you put those 1964 Browns against anybody in the NFC, I think they would have won.
But this is when we were alive.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us wasn't around in
I wasn't
1964.
even thought about it.
And those who are 1964 are dying out.
My mom was not even born. She came around in November of '66. So.
My parents were born; they were like 9 years old.
Yeah, so my dad wasn't born. My mom wasn't born. So that lets you know, I have no idea besides highlights I've seen of what Jim Brown did, or any of those guys. I didn't see it. Sorry. I know the history because I looked it up, but without looking it up, I would have no idea what the history was.
Brandy, is LeBron retiring as a Cleveland Cavalier?
Oh, he had to. I'd kind of be mad if he didn't.
Yeah, I think that's the expectation. I think he knows that's what he want to do. All right, we're going to take our final break, and then we're going to come back and talk a little bit about the Ohio State University. They are still alive in the college football playoffs, but they have they got a monster game coming up against the Georgia Bulldogs. So we'll be right back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Out for a spin on fresh ice. Now through February 26th, the place to be is the rink at Wade over University Circle, proudly sponsored by PNC. Every Saturday, partake in free ice skating lessons. That's right, free. And special programs with your family and friends. While you
he said he ain't gonna miss the game.
Wristband to enjoy discounts around University Circle. Listen up.
Yeah, he said I'll be ready Tuesday.
I know it's a little chilly. Warm up with a cup of hot chocolate from the concession stand. So whatever you do, you float, you glide, you slide,
they want so much for these tickets.
This
How much they want?
Season at the rink at Wade Oval in University Circle. For more information, visit universitycircle.org/rink.
How much?
That's universitycircle.org/rink.
Section 122.
This message is brought to you by PNC,
They want 600
University Circle Incorporated, and WOVU 95.9 FM. Our voices united. Burton Bell Car Community Radio.
And
front man, you got it.
Welcome back to Huddle.
What'd you say?
Rachel Hill,
for those please, they want 67. Sound good.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. According to the Bleacher Report, LeBron James says he will be ready to go tomorrow, and he is playing in this game. See, I told you he loves Cleveland.
Man, LeBron James gonna have turf toe in the morning. He gonna come with an excuse. I got turf toe. Like, he ain't even on turf. He on wood, but he gonna call it turf toe. LeBron is lying to y'all.
Brandy, LeBron said he is playing in the game tomorrow. He says he'll be ready Tuesday.
Good. I figured he has to play in the
he ain't Kyrie. There's a big difference between the two of them. How Kyrie won't play in Cleveland, but
I don't know why. Like, why won't Kyrie play in Cleveland?
I don't know. He made the biggest shot in sports history here, and I don't understand because I'm like, besides him being a weirdo, or whatever, I love Kyrie. So. I don't know, but let's get into these Ohio State Buckeyes. So the Ohio State is still alive. They made it into the CFP. They did not make it last year because they did not beat Michigan, but they did not beat Michigan, and they made it here to the CFP. So big ups to Kansas State. Want to thank them so much, and big ups to Utah. We needed a little bit of help, and we are in the 4th position. So December 31st at 8 p.m. we take on Georgia, the Georgia Bulldogs, number 1 overall seed, the number 1 overall team in the country, and a team that has blowing everybody out. Brandy, as an alumnus of The Ohio State University, we are wired very differently. What are your thoughts about this game?
Yeah, even being an alum, this is going to be a very tough game for them, especially on the defensive side. They're going to have to stay contained. They're not going to be able to give up those big plays like we saw against Michigan. So it's not going to be an easy one, but, they can win.
So I'm going to let y'all alumnus speak first because I'm about to tell y'all the truth.
This is like Brandy said, this will be a very tough game. When I saw that we got that draw, I'm not expecting the Buckeyes to win this game. I had a great talk today though with Adrian Clark. Actually, Adrian Clark was the offensive lineman for the 2003 national championship team under Jim Tressel, and he actually played for Philly too with Donovan McNabb. So he's a NFC champion as well. So me and him had a conversation that nobody expected them to beat Miami going into that game. Back in the day when they won their national title game, nobody expected us to beat Alabama because Alabama, have been world beaters and stuff like that. And he's like, there's opportunity for Ohio State to win this game. If these receivers can catch the balls, they don't get beat in the trenches and they're able to, stifle Georgia's defense, stifle their offense. Stetson Bennett, is not in consideration for the Heisman. So, he's just the average quarterback. He just plays behind a very good defense. So that's one of the things. But, he was like, there's a lot of keys to the game where the Buckeyes can actually pull this out. And when he broke it down to me, I was just like, okay, I could see this. Because going into, telling him, I was like, I'm very nervous about this game. I felt like Georgia's going to annihilate us if we play anything like we played against Michigan. I felt like, this is a done deal. And, I didn't get a chance to watch all of the game against LSU, but, I don't know what the final score was, but from what I see, they was dominating and they got up big. And, like I said, I don't know what the final score was.
50-30.
Huh?
It was 50-30.
Oh, 50-30. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, they was able to put, but LSU is, a middling team and they were ranked number 14 as well. So I think it'll be a very interesting matchup, but you definitely cannot have them play like they did against Michigan. And also you got to sit CJ Stroud down, and have him take a look at that film and see how many opportunities that he had. And, make sure that the players are catching the ball too, because CJ was the beneficiary of a lot of drops as well by his receivers. So they got to catch the ball and actually execute. I'm sorry that Jackson Smith and Jigba is not going to be playing as well. No, he said no, he's not playing.
He's going to the draft.
Yeah, he's going to the draft. So he pulled out. They made the announcement today. Ryan Day did.
He was just talking about how he's going. I think he will play Michigan.
Yeah, well, we ain't playing Michigan, so that sucks. So maybe that changed his mind. But yeah, he's declaring for the draft. And my thing is, when you got the opportunity to play for a national title, I can see if this is a Rose Bowl, whatever, sit out for that. But when your team is in contention for a national title, you play.
I don't like this new thing about people not playing in championship games. I'm not gonna front. I don't like it, but I respect it. I'm just trying to get that bag. But if you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get hurt rather you're playing in the game or you're playing in the combine. You're gonna get if it's bound for you to get hurt, you're gonna get hurt. Now, with that being said, Ohio State will beat Georgia. They will beat Georgia. I'm telling y'all here, you heard it here today. And I'm not saying this as a fan of Ohio State. I'm saying this as a person who watched NCAA football. I'll say the better. Georgia defense is sweet. They're one of the best defenses I've seen, but they're not last year's Georgia defense. Not as good as they used to be. Their offense is suspect. I think our defense is better than our defense should stop their offense. If and it's a big if, we do not run cover zero zone, when we will beat them. But our offense is stacked, man. We got returners. We got Henderson coming back. Our star running back. He's coming back to play. I just found out on air right here that Smith ain't playing and Jable Smith ain't playing, so that's a big loss, it's a big hit to us. But everybody else is still playing, so we actually have a healthy Ohio State team who, talent wise, can match up with anybody. I do.
Stetson Bennett, sorry to interrupt you. Stetson Bennett is a candidate for the Heisman Trophy now. It just broke.
Congratulations.
Because I said he ain't no Heisman Trophy finalist. Now he is. My bad. Sorry, Stetson.
Yeah. So, I think it's gonna be a Big Ten national championship game this year. I think Michigan gonna beat TCU.
Yeah, man. They know they got the easiest of the draw.
And I think Ohio State will beat Georgia. Even though it's gonna be a tough game for Ohio State, I think we will beat Georgia.
So an opportunity to shock the world.
Oh, we're gonna shock them. We're gonna shock them. We're gonna win. It's gonna be a national championship. Listen, we will be national champions this year.
Okay. All right. Eddie said that. So
Michigan don't want that smoke.
Rolling with
Michigan don't want that smoke no more.
Yeah, we gotta roll with Eddie saying. If Eddie said we gonna win, so it shall be. Adrian Clark said we gonna win. So, these are guys that know football. So, okay, so we got to listen to y'all. And Ohio State is going to win no matter how, tough the hill seems to climb. But, yeah, we weren't supposed to beat, Miami. Miami was supposed to thrash us, and it didn't go that well. But, one of the things that Maurice Claret was saying that Ohio State's defense wasn't nasty enough, and they played too cute. And the offense played too cute. So those are some of the things like, I guess Ryan Day probably ain't listening to him, but those are some of the things that, it needs to be remedied because Ohio State did play too cute against Michigan.
That's facts. And when we get out and play that smash mouth, that nasty, grimy football that we can play, we'll be unstoppable, man.
Because you got to get in the gutter against Georgia. They nasty up front.
Quit trying to be cute. Be Ohio State.
They're finesse.
Yes, we don't need all that. Like quit trying to throw the ball 100 times with Strauss because you want to win the Heisman. That's fine. But you got a dominant running back who was dominating in the first half against Michigan, and y'all stop giving him the ball. Like adjustments. Ryan Day. If we lose this game, it'll be because of Ryan Day. I'm telling y'all. And y'all be wow, he was right. I don't see us losing.
And I'm gonna be like, fired Ryan Day.
I already said it. I said at the end of this year, get rid of me. I don't care.
Brandy, you on the fire Ryan Day train yet?
No, not yet.
When you gonna be on that train with me?
I think, going into this playoff, they definitely have a point to prove. Like you said, they shouldn't have been there. So hopefully, they could prove everybody wrong and win. But then after that, if they lose, I might be on the train.
Okay. All right. Well, Brandy, I want to thank you for being here today. I want to thank the front man, Eddie Scott, for being here today. Yes. And you've been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll see you tomorrow. We are out of here.